Ground ball. McLain, second. 12 in a row. The oldest team in professional baseball has its 5th ever winning streak of a dozen straight.
Our job every day is to try to kick somebody's ass. I mean, that's why we're here.
That is caught. Left center. Reds win.
And this ball is launched high and very deep to right, long gone. It's second of the night. Elly De La Cruz.
Short lead for Pena. Larkin drills it. Do you believe this? It's going to be gone. Back to back. Walk-off home runs. How about this? He's back. He's back. He's back.
And a swing and a drive. Deep left field. This one belongs to the Reds. Swung on and hit deep to left field. That ball is going to be gone. Home run. And the Reds put it 5-4.
Goes to second one. Around the first. Got him. Double play. And the Reds sweep the Cubs. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Way back there. And gone. Into the second deck and left. Christian Encarnacion Strand walks it off.
Karcher does it in his major league debut. He gets the final 3 outs, and the Reds get an extra inning win. A thriller 5-4.
Swung on. Fly ball. Hit to deep right field. That ball is going to be gone. A grand slam home run by Mike Cameron.
2 outs, 2 on. Reds down by 1. Larkin down the line. It's a winner. It's a winner. Here comes Tucker. Here comes Steins. Larkin's won the game. Barry Larkin gets mobbed. Look at this scene. It's synergy.
The stretch, the pause in the pitch, and a line drive, base hit left center field. A single for Aaron Boone, and this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won 8 in a row.
Kobayashi with a long look turns it loose, and Dunn hits it to deep right. It's all over, and this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won their 5th game in a row. They've defeated the Cleveland Indians on an Adam Dunn 3-run home run, 4-2. In on the corners at first and third. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Royce Ring pitching, no bunt. Ground ball by the third baseman into left field. Jay Bruce rounds third, and this one belongs to the Reds.
That's it pretty good. Guess what? He doesn't need speed. That's gone. He's the king of the Queen City tonight.
With 1 out here in the 11th inning, you sure got to go now.
One on, pull down the left field line. That ball is going to get the winning run in. Here comes Jay Bruce rounding third, heading toward the plate, and this one belongs to the Reds.
Huge situation for Votto. Why you paying the big bucks to deliver the goods with 2 outs in the 9th inning? Can he do it? In the gap right center field, and Votto delivers the goods.
Hit deep center field. And Gil going back at the warning track. Oh, he gets one. It's gone. Joey Votto is delivered.
Welcome in, Reds fans. As you can see, it's a true road game for me. I am not in my normal spot. I'm actually in my parents' basement. So thanks for bearing with me. I brought my microphone, but forgot the cord. So we're going on fumes here. But today is August 8th, 2025, and the Reds play again today. I know it seemed like the season was over yesterday, but they play again today against the Pirates, and they get to face off against a team they still should beat. And we're here to cover it. We're here to be excited about it. I'm Mike Hart, by the way, and joining me in his normal spot, even though I'm not, is my main man, Ricky Logan. How are you doing over there?
Doing pretty good. This is a little bit different for us anyway, because typically a Friday is the start to a series, and we're going into a game 2 of a series. So it's exciting. We have a really good pitching matchup, and it's going to be a good game.
It's like we're starting a series because we just are forgetting about the game that happened yesterday.
Yes.
How about that? We're just kind of flushing that from our mind.
Yeah, forget game 1. We got game 3, 3-game series going.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The 3-game sweep for the rest of it, I'm sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about some news. I know that I saw come across the wire that Zulueta was optioned down, and Ben Scooter was brought up to take his place. I think this is pretty I think even Nick mentioned that this is probably a move that they were going to make. All this is kind of shuffling that back end of the bullpen while they have that open spot for Nick Lodolo down, and with Martinez kind of filling the role of that starter, but also being able to be a reliever that opens up an extra spot for basically them to shuttle somebody up and down from Louisville. I would imagine that Ben Scooter will be up here for a couple days. We may even see La Sorsa, maybe even Zulueta again at some point as we're trying to get ready for when ultimately Hunter Green fills that spot. So we didn't get that here in Pittsburgh, but I believe he's slated to go in the next time through the rotation. So, yeah. Anything about Ben Scooter or Zulueta that you are that gets you excited or discouraged or anything like that?
Well, he's been pretty effective in his last 11 and a third innings in AAA. He has a 1.59 ERA over his last 5 outings. And this would be his major league debut if he does pitch. He was called up earlier in the season but didn't play.
I just, to be honest, I don't want to see him tonight because if we see him tonight, I think that that doesn't bode well for the Reds, unless the Reds are up.
It could be the other way around.
Yeah, 10-0 or something like that. It's like, hey, buddy, you get your major league debut in a blowout. That'd be awesome. So, but we'll get to a little bit later the bullpen arms and where we sit with that. We've got some rest for our top guys, so. Hopefully, with the Chase Burns quality start under our belt, we're able to go in and win a good one tonight. Anything else about last night or the moves that you want to talk about before we get into the lineup?
Nick and Trace kind of harped on it last night. It was just not being aggressive on the base pass when you had the opportunities to do so. But when you're facing a guy like Paul Skenes, you need to take advantage of any opportunity that you have, and ended up being a double play to get him out of the inning. And they had the most hits against Skenes that Skenes has allowed in his career. So it's when you have the opportunity, you got to take it. And I just wish it would have been more aggressive.
Yeah, we put in the beginning of this is a must win. I know we still got a long way to go, but how do you feel? Do you think this is a must win, or is this something that, if we lose, we still can recover from? But how do you feel about that?
Yeah, we could talk about it a little bit more when we get close to the division standings and the wild card. But confidence wise, if you can't win a series versus the Pirates, I don't want to say the season's dead, but it's gonna be a tough hill to climb after that.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you. I don't like saying must win, especially with this much. It's like that type of language is always tough for me to use just because it's pretty hyperbolic. But I agree that I think a lot hinges on this game because, we have to leave with at least a split. And if we don't win this game, then yes, we have the better matchup. But we've seen how the Reds have fared against guys being called up from AAA. Or matchups that should be good for us, right? The offense goes to sleep. So this is somebody, Mitch Keller, we'll get to, but a lot of Reds have faced him. So it's somebody that we should have familiarity with, and hopefully we'll be able to get some offense on. But let's go through the lineup. Ricky, why don't you walk us through what we see? There's obviously at least one surprise in here that we can talk about, but why don't you give us the lineup?
Yeah, we got TJ Friedl leading off playing center field. He's hitting .407 over his last 7 games with a .948 OPS. Matt McLain batting second at second base. He's batting .300 since the All-Star break. So the season numbers don't look great, and the OPS isn't great. It's .722 OPS, but kind of getting there. And then Elly batting third. I'm not worried about Elly. He's going through a little bit of a cold streak here, but nothing to really worry about. Austin Hayes, 333 OPS over his last 7 games, 2 hits this month. Not ideal in the cleanup spot.
Nope.
Gavin Lux in left field today with Austin Hayes DHing. Lux is batting .340 in his last 15 games, but he does have a .775 OPS. I think he's only got 1 extra base hit in that time frame.
Got 3 hits. Got 3 hits last night, so hopefully we can carry that over.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And then we have Andujar playing first base over Spencer Steer. Tyler Stevenson catching tonight. Jake Fraley, he just came off a really good July. He had 1,099 OPS. And Key Brian Hayes coming back home to Pittsburgh, batting ninth.
Yeah, I guess the big surprise here is Andujar over Steer. It's interesting because if you look at the matchups, I think Steer actually probably has the best matchup, like best numbers against Mitch Keller. But Jacob Doyle looks like he posted in the chat Steer 2 for 21 in August. So, I would imagine this is just, hey, we're giving you a day, kind of, get things back together, try to, rest up and see if we can get back to it and get back on track when we get back. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see him off of the bench too for some sort of pinch hitter role or something like that as well, maybe for Lux or something like that. So we'll see. But it's interesting that it's Andujar that they chose to pick to play first base and not, I guess our only other option now that Connor Joe is gone is Espinal. So it's interesting because I was looking at Andujar's numbers against righties. They're not much better than Espinal's. In fact, they may be right around the same. So I guess you have a little bit more of the power option with Andujar. So we'll see. It is we'll see how that ends up going. But let's hope that we are able to have Andujar face at least a left-handed reliever in a good spot. That is what we brought him in for. We didn't bring him in to, frankly, bat against right-handed pitching or play first base, but he's doing both tonight. So hopefully we'll see, if Tito pressed the right buttons and we'll be able to, I'm sure he'll go 2 for 3 with 3 RBI or something like that tonight, just because I mentioned it. But yeah, it's anything else about your thoughts of this lineup and what we might be seeing?
Not just, like you said, the only option at first base would be Espinal. And I think I'll take the power of Andujar over Espinal's zero power this year.
And this does bring up the good point. I know we had talked beforehand that maybe we weren't going to bring up Benson. But if Andujar is this person you put in the spot here, to me, Santiago Espinal is now completely replaceable in all. He's the backup third baseman that gets replaced by Key Brian Hayes in for defensive reasons, even when he has the day off. He's clearly not the backup first baseman. Maybe if Andujar can do that, he can play backup first base. And then in the outfield, obviously Fraley and the person that they would replace Espinal with, Will Benson, would be a better fit for it. So it's interesting if that ultimately ends up being what happens. I doubt it. I think Tito likes Espinal and his versatility and what he brings. But if you're willing to play Andujar at first base, which is a big stretch, right? I can't imagine he grades out well defensively. I tried to look up numbers, and I think he has so few attempts at first base that he isn't like on any of the lists yet. So it's like, if you're willing to play him at first base, then why the heck is Espinal up here, and why not have Benson in this lineup doing, hitting against righties? So we'll see what ends up happening, but it's just interesting to see if this can be Andujar's role, and if that means a shift in potentially seeing Will Benson back in the big leagues.
Yeah, I think, we'll have to see how he does in AAA, and I think he'll be fine. But in July, Benson hit 183. He did have the last couple games towards the end of the month where he had that stretch, but I think in August he's batting 667 with a 1.667 OPS. So you kind of want that, but then you have to decide if you're gonna keep Espinal, which we can probably agree that he's expendable. You have to decide between him or Fraley, and then are you going to DFA Fraley right now because he doesn't have options, or do you just option Benson and then eventually just option Espinal and bring Benson back up?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Benson obviously has the power in this lineup. It's just the inconsistencies of him this season. Like Nick Kroll says, we got to eliminate the peaks and valleys, and Benson's been the ultimate peaks and valley player.
Yeah, it's interesting. Optimistic John brings up that Espinal plays all of the infield positions, right? With good value. He plays outfield positions as well, but I would argue that Benson plays all the outfield positions better than Espinal does. So I understand why Espinal's up here because of the positional value and being able to play backups for a lot of different people. Like, I understand that. I guess what I'm saying is Benson provides a lot of flexibility as well in the outfield. He can play left, center, and right, and provides backup. And to be honest, has far more upside than Espinal. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But if Tito is willing to play Andujar at first base, I wonder what that means ultimately for what's happening. This will end up getting. I think this will end up getting sorted out with some sort of injury or something like that. So we'll see what ends up happening there, but we surely will see. I'm sure that we'll see Will Benson again on this team. But let's move on to Chase Burns. Chase Burns, obviously coming off of the start that he made with the Speedway Classic, right, where he only went one inning, looked really good, throwing 101 with a nasty slider in pouring rain. So I think, obviously should be well rested. It's really unfortunate that we didn't get to see full display of Chase Burns on the national stage, but hopefully that means that he's ready to mow down lots of Pirates today and not only get a lot of strikeouts, but hopefully give us a little bit of length since we had to go to the bullpen pretty early yesterday. So what are your thoughts on Chase Burns and what he's able to bring to the Pirates today?
Yeah, I mean, Burns is phenomenal. Maybe he could be the cannonball that sinks the pirate ship. It's a little pirate joke for you.
There you go. I got you.
His last official start, I guess, was against the Dodgers, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 10 strikeouts. If they hadn't played the game Saturday, he would have had. It was 3 straight outings with 10 strikeouts or more. Only 8 pitchers since MLB mound was moved to its current distance have done that at the age of 22 or younger. And if he goes 4, which he won't now because of the 1 inning, he would have only joined Bob Feller, Al Downing, and then Dwight Gooden holds the record with 5. So I mean, he's in elite company as a starting pitcher at his age. And this is his first start versus the Pirates, so this would be a clean slate to see how he can mow these guys down.
Yeah, it'll be the first time seeing him as well. And I really hope that we can get some length out of him as well. I know we've seen all the big strikeout numbers, but I think part of what he's even talked about this way he's trying to learn is understanding not only that you can wipe people out with lots of strikeouts, but getting some of those quick outs, getting some, being able to get further and further into the game to not only give your team a better chance to win, but saving the bullpen for the rest of the series. So it'd be really cool if we could get some, like, what if he gets through 7 in this? Like, this is not a great Pirates lineup, and we'll get to it, but it's like, it would be awesome if Chase Burns could strike out 10, which I think he could do, in his sleep probably, but then get through 7 innings would be so encouraging for Chase Burns. This is his chance against a not great offense to go out and show why he was the number 1 pick. So, or the Reds' first round draft pick is number 2 pick. But there's I don't think anyone on the Pirates have faced Chase Burns, right? Yeah, I don't think he's faced them yet. So we don't have those matchups. But why don't we move to the Pirates lineup? You got that one for me? There you go. All right, leading off, we got Spencer Horwitz, then old friend Tommy Pham in left field, Brian Reynolds in short, batting 3rd, O'Neal Cruz in center batting 4th, Jack Sawinski in right. We got a couple shortstops here. Is Brian Reynolds, I think, Triolo playing short? I'm not sure who's playing short there. Well, we can let me pull that up. I think I have that right.
I actually have the lineup pulled up right now.
Reynolds is DHing and Triolo is playing short. So Sawinski's in right, batting 5th. Triolo is batting 6th at short. Peguero is playing 2nd and batting 7th. Henry Davis is catching and batting 8th. And then IKF, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, is playing 3rd and batting 9th. So that is the lineup for we have. Do we have anything out here that sticks out to you or that you'd be worried about?
Yeah, Spencer Horwitz has been on fire in his last 7 games. He's got 2 home runs. He's batting .348, slugging .652, and having him lead off, it's kind of scary. You don't hope he just doesn't ambush one, but Yeah, and then Brian Reynolds, just Reds killer.
Yeah, that's true. He hit another home run last night as well. So hopefully we're able to get, we're able to, move through this lineup and move through it well because we're facing kind of familiar foe, right? Mitch Keller, right-handed pitcher for the Pirates. We've seen him a lot. He's pitched for the Pirates for a long time, and so because of that, there's been like over 100 at bats that Mitch Keller has faced the Reds. Do you have some numbers on him?
Yes. Active Reds are 31 for 118 against him. It's a 263 batting average. Friedl's 2 for 21. Tyler Stevenson's 5 for 20 with the home run. Spencer Steer not playing today. 7 for 19, a home run with 4 extra base hits. Jake Fraley 5 for 15. Elly is 2 for 13 with a double.
All right. Well, we hope we'll be able to translate that into some good hits here. Another thing is, obviously, the Pirates sold, right? They sold at the deadline. Where that's going to show up, was Bailey Falter, right? Bailey Falter is somebody in their rotation that we won't have to face now. But the other places that they sold were in their bullpen. They traded away their closer, right, Dave Bednar, to the Yankees. They also traded away another left-handed guy. What's his name? But another left-handed reliever, I believe, as well. So, if we can't get to Mitch Keller, what I would like to see, hopefully, is that we're still in this game and are able to get to the bullpen. Caleb Ferguson, there you go. Thank you, yes. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate the assist there. So, if we can't get to Keller for a whole bunch of runs, which we have done in the past, I think there's been a few games where we have gotten to Mitch Keller, and then there's some games where he's really mowed down the Reds. But if we can get to that bullpen, I like our chances to hopefully be able to get to a bunch of these young guys that they have stocked in their bullpen now, or DFA candidates, basically.
Yeah, some more stats on Keller. He's 5-10, 3.89 ERA. His last start was in Colorado. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, 3 home runs allowed. That's the most he's allowed since 2024.
Yeah. That's a Coors effect for you right there, though.
That is true. 7 pitches, 4-seam fastball, sweeper, slider, sinker, curveball, changeup, and a cutter. Fastball averages 94 miles per hour, and batters are just hitting 182 against his curveball. Yeah.
Well, that's not great, but
it's not ideal.
He didn't throw the curveball too much, did he? I think he only
curveball throws at about 7%.
Okay. All right. Well, then we won't be seeing too much of that, hopefully. But one thing I did forget about earlier is I forgot to ask everyone to like the stream. Please do that. I saw our overlord Nick Kirby in the chat. So he's watching. So we need to make sure we get our likes there, so that not only does this video get out to other people so that they can see about how we talk to the Reds and get in front of more people in the YouTube algorithm, but it helps Chatterbox Reds. Obviously, Nick and Trace, they're the ones that are kind of driving the ship. They're here almost every post game during the week, and that's their livelihood. So a like and a subscribe, while obviously we want it, it's for them. So go out and do that. It doesn't cost you anything to go and be a part of the Chatterbox family in that source or in that way. And also, it has been scientifically proven to help the Reds win. And we know that after last night's debacle offensively, we need all the help we can get. So if you're in here, please go ahead and like the stream, and we can keep moving on from that. So we talked about their starting pitcher. Now let's talk a little bit about our pitching path to victory, right? Let's take a look at some. So obviously, Pagan and Santillan are pretty rested. We also have a new face in there, Ben Scooter, who should be rested as well. But ultimately, it seems like we're set up to be able to take a close game. If we're winning by 1 or 2 runs, be able to take it out to the finish like we would normally. So any thoughts on what you would like to see out of the bullpen and how we would go about doing things?
Yeah, the back of the bullpen's actually pretty rested over their last few games. I say rested as in haven't pitched
in quotations,
2 games.
right?
Yeah. Ashcraft last pitched on Tuesday. Santillan threw 2 pitches on Tuesday. Barlow pitched on Monday. Pagan pitched on Monday. And then we added the Ben Shooter. So I like our bullpen tonight. Hopefully we don't need to rely on them too much. Hopefully, like we said, that Chase Burns can go a solid 6, hopefully, fingers crossed, 7. And then you can just have Santillan and Pagan in the 8th and 9th. And that would just be ideal. Get the win, get out of here, go in tomorrow. Hopefully get ahead in the series and then go for the series win on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. Let's look at the matchups for the next couple days, because obviously there's going to be no pregame show for the Saturday and the Sunday games. So tomorrow at 6:50 or 6:40, it'll be Nick Martinez's turn back in the rotation, 9-9 with a 4.66 ERA, facing the perennial all-star TBD. So we'll see who that ends up being, whether it's a bullpen game or somebody they call it from AAA. But you like the Reds' chances. I know we joke about it, but it's still better to be facing somebody who, whether it's a bullpen game or somebody that isn't in a major league uniform right now. And then let's see, Sunday they are facing. It is.
I think they're talking about maybe a bullpen game Sunday.
Maybe, yeah. That's even better. Let's burn their bullpen today, and then their bullpen game will be even worse. Sunday, we have Zach Littell going after his amazing first start for the Reds. He's 9-8 with a 3.46 ERA against Mike Burrows, right-handed pitcher. So he's 1-4 with a 4.45 ERA. So you like the Reds' chances in the next two games, but that's why I think this game's so important. Let's go out and win this game so that we can go get 3 of 4 from the Pirates. Take advantage of the fact that I think the Mets are playing the Brewers and the Padres are playing somebody else, the Rangers, I think, right? Somebody who can, somebody who, has a pretty good chance for the, if the Reds can beat up on the Pirates, they can gain some ground on the people in the wild card. Oh, I see in here that Bubba Chandler could be called up. That's a very interesting thing. That would be very interesting, the number 5 prospect in Major League Baseball, if they did call them up. I doubt that, because at this point, I would imagine they're probably just going to save him for something like a September call-up to play some service time manipulation games there. But it would be interesting if we face their I guess, number 2 prospect, because they have Connor Griff, or they have what's his face, the shortstop who's the number 1 overall prospect for them. But that'd be interesting if they are able to do, if we face Bubba Chandler. But I guess, frankly, I'd hope not. I'd much rather a bullpen game. Let's just beat up on their bullpen for a couple days. How's that?
Love it.
All right. We got, why don't we talk a little bit about the NL Central Rundown? This is kind of morphed into the NL Central Rundown plus the people we're chasing in the wild card rundown. So what do you have on who's playing who and the people that we care about in the standings?
All right, so we have the Brewers. They're the MLB best, 70-44. They play the Mets. Kodai Senga is going to face off against Brandon Woodruff tonight in New York. The Mets are 2-8 over their last 10 games, and the Reds trail them by 3.5 games in the wild card. So that's something to look out for. And the Cubs, 66-48, 5-5 over their last 10. They play St. Louis, Matthew Boyd versus Michael McGreevy. Cubs hold the first wild card spot over San Diego. We are 3.5 games out of the wild card. Cardinals are 58-57, 5.5 games out of the wild card, 4-6 in their last 10. And then San Diego, they play Boston in San Diego. Walker Buehler versus Nick Pivetta. San Diego's on fire. They're 8-2 in their last 10. The Giants, they play the Nationals in San Francisco. They trail Cincinnati by 1.5 games. And then Miami, I'm going to include Miami too, because they've been kind of rolling here lately. They play Atlanta. They're 6-4 in their last 10, 6.5 games out of the wild card.
Man, if we have Miami catch us, boy, I don't know if we deserve to make the playoffs. So let's hope that one doesn't come to fruition. All we need to do is stay in our lane and win today. Hopefully, we're able to get some contributions up and down the lineup here. And, I'd really like to be able to see happy. I guess it's Corey T on tonight for Friday. Corey T, and I'm not sure who's joining him, but happy post game is what I'm looking for. I'm going to be flying. I'm going to be flying on vacation here coming up tomorrow. So I may or may not catch the rest of the game just because I got to wake up really early, catch a flight. But hopefully we'll be celebrating the Reds gaining some ground in that wild card race. Okay, we have now come to the point in the show where you all drop your predictions, who you think or what you think the score will be. Hopefully the Reds winning. I saw at least one of them that had the Reds not winning. So, boy, I hope that's not the case. And while we stall letting people put their predictions in, let's talk about what our what to watch for is for tonight. Ricky, do you have a what to watch for?
I do, and I'm kind of worried about it. Pittsburgh has won 13 straight home games against teams with a winning record. If that sounds surprising, but they're on fire. They play really well at home. They're just absolutely trash on the road.
Yeah,
and then
I
Gavin
don't love
Lux,
that because we're at home. We're at their home. So
yes, and then TJ Friedl at least one single in each of the Reds' last 6 games against NL Central opponents.
All right, that's okay. Hey, let's do it. I'd love to be able to get all that type of thing. Thanks for chiming in, Corey. It says he's with Craig Sandlin. Craig Sandlin doing Chatterbox Bengals yesterday, and then Chatterbox Reds tonight. Really burning the candle on both ends. He says 8-4 Reds, which I'd love that. My what to watch for. Obviously, I'm on the road right now, so wasn't able to create a graphic for it, but it was actually based on something that our friend of the podcast, Bryce Spalding, brought up, and he says. So, and based on the Reds are 4-34 when scoring 2 runs or less this season. 4-34. That's so bad. But conversely, they are 52-22 when they score 3 or more runs in a game. That's the 5th best winning percentage in the major leagues for scoring 3 or more runs. So I guess I get a couple things out of that stat. One, that's a heck of a lot of games to not score more than 2 runs. What is that? 4 and let's do a little bit of math on the stream. 4-34. That's 38 games so far this year. I think we're only like 160 in. So that's so many games where they score less than 3 runs, which is unfortunate. And to be honest, I think that the 56-22 is pretty good. It's something. I think it is a testament to our pitching, that our starting pitching for the most part, and for the most part also our relief pitching have been pretty good this year and kind of kept us in games. That's why these games where we scored the 7-0 or whatever it ended up being last night, it seems to be a rarity, right? There's not very many games where it's just like, okay. We're just way out of it, right? It's more like a 2-0 or the string of 1-0 losses and things like that. So I guess it's more important than ever then for the offense to go out and score some runs here, man. We need to if we don't score at least 3 against the Pirates tonight, then I feel like it's almost time to start hitting the panic button about the offense. It's just like, hey, something is going on. Well, we need to make a change. Maybe Steer getting a day, even if it's for Andujar, is a way to try to spark something. But boy, the offense has got to show up. You can't win if you don't score runs. So hopefully the offense can come and do that. Looks like we got a lot of people chiming in here for scores. Why don't you start throwing those on the screen, Ricky? We got WTI Trader. Pittsburgh 7, Reds 1. That'd be bad. I hope that's not the case. We'd be in serious trouble if we got blown out in both of our first 2 games.
And then he changed it to give us 2 runs, but then he lost faith.
He still lost faith. Oh man, WTI Trader. Don't worry, they'll win off a couple, and then you'll be right back in. I know that's
we got this.
That's how it goes. That's how this Reds team goes. 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, and then lose a series from the Pirates. Jacob Doyle, 6-0 Pirates. That's actually I like that. I was going to go something around that level because I think we have pretty good pitching matchup coming out here with Chase Burns. That it would be really sweet if they could get 6-0, and Ben Schuster gets Ben Scooter gets his major league debut in the 8th inning. of a blowout there. Reds 7, Pirates 2 from Stephen Dune Lunch. Great. I'd love that. Same thing. Just a comfortable win. WTI Traders letting us know that it's Tito's Reds with 2, as opposed to David Bell's Reds, I'm sure, which would be would be way different. Reds 7, Pirates 4 from Joe Landis. Thank you. Hopefully we'll be able to see that one coming. I love that. Pirates walk-off base hit by Horowitz by Daniel Sargent. Dislike. Downvote. Don't want that one.
Downvote.
Then that means that our bullpen blew that one. Hopefully that one's not the case there. We got Reds 6, Pittsburgh 2. Thank you, Lance George, for the optimism we needed. We had far too many people saying that the Pirates are going to win in a game like this. We got to get their spirits up. 5-2 Reds. Chase dominates for the first time. I'd say he's dominated in a couple outings already so far. Just hasn't put it all the way together. But yes, I would agree that last night we faced Paul, and enough said. Hopefully tonight is Chase's night. That's good. All right, we stalled long enough here, Ricky. What's your prediction? Coming off of, I guess not last time, but the time before, you nailed it right on the head. So this is somebody you should listen to here.
Some pressure. We have a history of not giving Chase Burns run support. I hope that changes, but I think I'm going to go 4-2 Reds.
4-2 Reds. Okay. All right. Hey, that's still a nail biter, but that's still a victory, and we can handle that one. My prediction is Chase Burns goes 7 shutty. I think Chase Burns goes 7 shutty here tonight. Who was it? Who said that? Let me look in the chat. Joyce and David Huber. I think that I agree with you. This is his coming out party, and the Reds end up shutting out the Pirates at home. The offense that showed some life last night really comes alive tonight in scoring some runs. So they were, I think, what Jacob Doyle say. What did he say? He said 6-0. I'm going to say 7-0 Reds. So he says 12 Ks for Burns. See, I don't even, probably, but I think it's more of 7 innings, 9 Ks or something like that, right? He gets them. There's some people, some really heavy strikeout people in the Pirates lineup, but I think that he goes deep because he doesn't necessarily have to lean on that. And then, Santillan, Pagan, easy 8th and 9th inning, and we get out of here. I guess if it's 7-0, then it's Ben Scooter going 2 innings, 8th and 9th in his debut, giving up no runs. That'd be where I land for it. So,
and then he gets optioned back down tomorrow.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. All right. Any final thoughts about our game tonight? Once again, please like the stream. Thank you for everyone that's participated in the chat today. Everyone that has been sending in their predictions that's following this show. Thanks for sticking with me with the bad, not as great audio, and with the boxed up sectional behind me in my parents' basement. I appreciate you doing that. Any final thoughts, Ricky, before we head out of here?
Yeah, hopefully we get a good solid learning experience out of Burns tonight, and he can go 6 solid. Like you said, hopefully we can get a shutout out of it and turn to the bullpen. They can just nail it down. You want to see the Reds beat teams they're supposed to beat, because we beat the teams we're really not supposed to beat. But I know it's like not really a thing, like playing up to your opponent, playing down to your opponent. It's just kind of like where they fall in terms of like being on a run and not being on a run. But you need to take care of the Pirates.
Yeah, it sure feels like it's a thing. I'll tell you what, man. So let's change that around and yeah, take care of the Pirates. Do what we should do to the Pirates, and that's win. So the matchup's in our favor, and let's go out and serve that one exactly what they deserve tonight, and that's no runs. No runs for the Pirates tonight. Let's get that shutout and have a nice, comfortable win for Tito and the Reds. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, just go Reds.
All right. You're going to have to hit the outro for us today, Ricky.
I got you.